Today we are facing the AI revolution, and the knowledge of leveraging this technology is very valuable, and the interest is only going to grow. If you want to learn how to build the AI smart assistants that are also called AI chatbots, then you came to the right place. In this video I'm going to show you all the basics that you need to know to get started creating AI chatbots using Voiceflow. And let's get straight into it. We go to the voiceflow.com, click start building, it's free. So we land to the web page of Voiceflow right now. In the right up corner we click new assistant. We enter the name for the assistant. Let it be first project. Then we need to choose which assistant we want to use. Build AI assistant. Then we want to select a channel. It can be web chat, which means that the chatbot will be installed on the website, Twilio, SMS, WhatsApp, Microsoft Teams. Let's choose web chat for now. And when we choose the web chat, we also need to select the language. The language will be English. Now we have the possibility to add the members to our workspace, but we don't need anyone right now, and we skip it and click create assistant. Now we see our Canva, and we get the starting page with the chatbot sample from Voiceflow here, and it's really helpful. You can play with it by testing each part separately. Let's quickly go through this example. In order to start testing our chatbot, we need to click in the first block, start. And in the right part of the screen we see our sample of chatbot, and first we land into the block which is named welcome. The welcome block consists of three parts: 1, 2 and 3. Let's go through each block one by one. First block is response AI. And it says that response AI step allows Voiceflow's AI assistant to generate contextual speech or text responses in real time as your users interact with your assistant. Let's go back to our project and see. We see that we use the prompt say hello to the user in different language. Let's see the model that we use. We use GPT 3.5 Turbo. There are options also to choose from these models. And then we use the temperature one, and the maximum number of tokens that will be used for this response is 20. To those of you who don't know, you can check the number of used tokens in this part of the screen, and now we have 1661 tokens from 1 million tokens used. The next block is text block. You can find the text block here, and text block is text message shown in chat. And in this text block we write the fixed text that we want to write to our user. The next section is button. We can find buttons here in this block. Let's do it right now. Bonjour in French, then fixed text message, and then two buttons. If we click the first button, we will go to the second welcome block. If we click end conversation, we will go to end conversation block. We will get goodbye message, and our assistant ends in this state. Let's click ask ChatGPT a question and see what this block does. First block is again text block, and the second block is capture user reply to last utterance. Last utterance is variable. We can see the list of variables in the left part of the screen, and we can find that last utterance is not filled now. If we tell our chatbot, for example, what is the color of the sky, we will immediately get into last utterance variable our text, which is what is the color of the sky. And now, based on our last utterance, we will get to the next block, which is AI response output. In the AI response output we have again two blocks. First block is again response AI, but this time we have another type of prompt. It sounds like, based on the user's question, respond with 2 brief sentences. And the settings of this block is different because now our model looks at memory and prompt. And in the first response AI block, we had only respond using prompt option. In this case, when we also see at memory, our model will see at last utterance variable and take the information from this variable in order to answer to our user. The cool thing is Voiceflow is that you can test each block by clicking this button, which is start test from here. And you can test basically each block separately, and it helps with testing. Let's click this button, and now let's ask again what is the color of the sky. And our capture user reply block will capture our question in last utterance. And now the ChatGPT model gives a good response. The color of the sky is typically blue during the day. Blah, blah, blah. That's good. If you find this video valuable so far, please subscribe to the channel and we move forward. Now let's look at each section one by one, which will be AI section, talk section, listen section, logic, dev, and library. And the first section is AI section. In the AI section, we have two blocks, which are response AI and set AI. Let's have a look at the first response AI block. Response AI block can use the variable in the prompt, and I want to show you how to do that. For example, you should set the variable before. Let's choose the variable which is language. I already created it before. And let's set the value to this variable. It should be in double quotes. And we can write, for example, let's do Spanish. Cool. Now in our prompt, we can say hello to the user in the language. And our model will say hello in the language which stays in the variable language. We are going to use ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo, and let's take only 20 tokens for that because this is a very simple task. And let's test it. We click start. Cool, hola. We got the Spanish hello and we are happy. We are going back and we test another block, which is set AI. In order to test this block, let's build a bit more complicated example. To do that, we will start with the text block. In the text block, we can write, what can I help you with? And then after asking the question, we want to save the question somewhere. To do that, we need to go to listen section and take capture block. We drag and drop this capture block in our new block 1. And by default, this block will capture the reply to last utterance variable. From this, we go to the next block and use finally our set AI. In the set AI block, we want to write some prompt. I've prepared the prompt in advance, and this prompt will sound following. Based on the user's last utterance, classifies the user's sentiment. For example, mad, frustrated, confused, curious, scared, bored, or annoyed. User's utterance is last utterance. And we want to apply the result to the variable. And variable is going to be sentiment. This variable I've already created before. That's why we use set AI block. It's basically take the prompt and saves the result in some variable. Let's connect these blocks. And let's put one more block, which is again response AI block. And in the response AI block, we want to answer to the user based on our classification in the new block 2. I also prepared the prompt, and this is going to be the following prompt. You are a support bot for a beauty store, responding to new users' problem, helping them solve them. Based on user sentiment, generate a statement that acknowledges how they are feeling and provide them with some comfort and or encouragement. User sentiment is sentiment. Well, now we connect this and let's test everything. What can I help you with? And then we capture our reply. My package didn't arrive. The results should be saved into sentiment variable. it classified our query as frustrated. And then we get this reply: I'm sorry to hear that you are feeling frustrated. I'm here to help you solve any problems you may be experiencing with our beauty store. That's cool. So now we've tested 2 blocks in the section AI, and we're going to the next section, which is talk section. It consists of 4 blocks. Let's test each one. So this is the text block. We already used it many times. Then the image block is the next. We can put it after the text block. We can choose the image. For example, let's take this one. Let's take this GIF. Yep. The next is card. Card is similar to the image, but it has more properties. For example, for the card, we can take this shampoo and we can add, for example, Dove, buy me. And we also can add the hyperlink to that. Here we can even add the button, I guess. Yeah, so we can add the button now, for example. We can add more buttons later. And it will look like this. So we got our text block, then we got our image, then we got our card. The next option is carousel. Carousel is basically a set of the cards. Let's put it also here. And in carousel we can add multiple cards. Let's add 2 right now, just to show you how it works and how it looks like. So it's going to be Dove, buy me, add another card, and this is how it's going to look like. Start, our text, our image, our normal card, and our carousel. So carousel allows you to scroll from left to right, so it's just very convenient user interface. Now we've had a look at the talk section. Talk section is basically needed to communicate with your customer, to output the data in the text format or in form of some image, carousel or card. And now let's move to the listen block. In this section we have buttons, we have choice, and we have capture. We've already had a look at the capture. Let's have a look at the buttons right now. Let's create an example for it. Let's say we will use the text block. So welcome to your first Voiceflow chat. How are you? That's our text block. And after text block, we want to add our buttons. Let's add our buttons one by one. And we will have the options happy. Add another button. We will have second option, which is sad. Then third button is angry. And the last button is no match. Good. So now we have 4 buttons. If everything is fine, it can work like the following. Let's test it for shortly. So we can choose one of the 4 options, happy, sad, angry. But what if our user will write, I am fine today? What will happen? Nothing actually will happen. Our assistant will say, sorry, I didn't get that, please try again. And that's what we don't want to have. And to solve this problem, we have intents. Let's, for example, go to the first option, which is happy, and we can attach intent. Select trigger intent, create new intent, and we will name it happy feeling. And in order to catch this happy feeling, we need to add utterances. Let's say I am feeling good. Enter. I'm okay. My mood is great. I'm well. I'm happy. And then we can ask Voiceflow to generate 10 another utterances. We wait a bit and it generated for us all these options. We go through each one by clicking the enter button. Well, now we got it and we can create intent. Now we have our intent and we want to test it. In order to do that, let's add another text block and right here, I'm happy to hear that. why did you came to our website? Cool. Now, if we will get to this intent, we will get this response. Let's test it right now. Booms. And we got the message from Voiceflow saying your assistant needs training. It means that we need to train our assistant, and this is done in order to catch all the options, because now we have around 15 different responses, but if we train our assistant, it takes some time. Now it is trained. Now we can write anything we want, and we write, for example, I'm feeling very good. And we got our response because our chatbot is now trained, and it gives us the option to write anything we want. Another building block is choice. This is actually same as buttons, but it doesn't have buttons, it only has intents. Let's have a look at the choice stuff. So, choice is only listening for intent. The first intent will be happy feeling, and the second path will be, we can create again new intent, which will be sad feeling. And okay, we can write I'm bad, I'm sick, and we can generate again. We've got 5 different responses, that's cool. We go through each one, we click and step and then create intent. And now we want to connect this path with this one, and let's create another one. Let's say I'm unhappy to hear that, but still, why did you came to our website, right? And connect this one with this path. And before that, we of course need to train our assistant. Train 100%. Now we are testing our block. Welcome to your first Voiceflow chat, how are you? And then I am feeling frustrated. And we got to this block. So our assistant became very smart. I'm unhappy to hear that. Why did you came to our website? So this was the listen section, and this section is made to take the answer from the user, either by clicking the buttons or using intents or using choices or just capturing the answer into variable. Default variable is last utterance. Let's move to the logic now. So guys, we've almost made it till the end. Now we are moving to the next section, and the next section is logic. In the logic section we have condition, set, random, component, and blocks. First block is condition block, and it's very simple. We can go to the library and have a look how it works. So basically, how the if section works, we ask for the name, we capture our name into variable name, and then in the if section we check if the name is Elon Musk, then we go this path. All other names will go to the different path. So basically it checks the condition, and we have the options to add conditions here. We've already used the set in the example above to set the variable language to Spanish, and it basically sets and changes the value of variable. The next block is random. Random is basically 2 options, and it goes either through path 1 or path 2 with the 50% probability. It's used for A/B testing normally. It is written in the documentation. We can check it always. Learn more. What it says is that if you want to add some variation or unpredictability in your conversation design and want the user to have a unique experience, you may want to consider the random step. And it's also commonly used in A/B testing. Let's go back to our chatbot, and here we have also component. Component is a very good thing. Let's create one example very fast. I've built the example so that we don't lose the time. First block is text block, welcome, capture the response, then we go to randomization of our path. And first option will be text output text1 and second will be text2. If we want to use this block in different places and we don't want to always write same stuff, we can highlight everything, click right mouse button and create component. And this is very useful thing in Voiceflow. You can see the components here in this section, and then you can go to the component. You can test this component separately. If, for example, you use this component in multiple places in your chatbot or probably even in different chatbots, you can then make the edit only in one place, only here, and then it will be changed everywhere. And now we're coming to the most complicated part. No, it's a joke. But this is the part where you can actually write some code, some JavaScript. And the first block in dev section is API. So basically API is the step which allows you to make custom API calls to connect your assistant with external APIs and data. To know better how it works, you can go and to this section and take everything from documentation. It is written very good. The next section is JavaScript stuff, can be found also in the documentation. Let's have a look. So basically you write something like this, if statement, and you return one value or return another value. First value is victory, second value is defeat, and you catch these values in the paths. First is victory and second is defeat, and depending on which value is returned, you go through this path. And of course the last thing we have to do is we have to publish our chatbot. To do that, we go to publish, we give the name to our version 1, publish, embed widget. Now we have this window which says paste this code snippet before the closing body tag on all pages you want the widget to appear. Remember to publish a production version to run your assistant. So basically you paste this code snippet before closing body tag, and that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you found this valuable, please give it a like and of course subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.